I actually listened to the Killer Instinct mixtape. How do you feel about that?
You know, it was just solid effort. Nah, it was just me, you know what I mean, just having fun, like, as a teenager. I was 17 years old. I just got into a studio. You know what I mean? I'm just like, yo, let's have fun. That was when I first learned how to record myself. So he used to just let me do my thing, and I just stay downstairs and record all day.
That process, how long did it take you to actually create that project there?
About 3 months, maybe.
3 months.
Maybe, yeah.
There's quite a lot of tracks in there, isn't it?
Yeah.
So obviously moving forward onto the project that everyone's been talking about, Trap Soul. Conceptually, when you were creating it, what kind of space were you in mentally?
Trap Soul. I don't know how it was. I was in a lot of different spaces. Like, you know, Sorry Not Sorry when I first did that song, I was thinking about what was to come, like what's gonna happen in the future. Like girls, like ex-girlfriends hit me up, and that's when I made that song. And then songs like Don't, you know, I don't know. I think it's evident. Like each song has its own different personality. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like it wasn't like a one thing. Like versus like I don't know, an Adele album or something like 21. Like I don't even know if that's a good example. Like an album where there was just like something happened and they just went and made a whole album based off of that one emotion. Yeah.
The whole project's touched the people.
Yeah.
In a way where it's like it's incredible to see. You'll be on your timeline. Everyone's talking about your records.
Right.
What was the studio session like for songs like Exchange? How was that?
Studios. I wrote the last verse first. I'm always in the studio by myself, by the way, because I record myself actually. But I don't know. It was just a chill session. You know, me and my boy, like always, they're always the same.
And now for you, like touring and performing, how's that feel for you now? Because it's different from being like a studio rat, so to speak, to going out and having to deliver the product to a live audience.
It was weird. It was weird at first because, like I said, like I'm like a low key dude. I try to stay to myself. So being on stage and like putting on a show for people, like especially for people who've seen like a lot of shows in their lifetime. Like I've never seen a show before last year. I'm sorry. The first show I saw was J. Cole and Big Sean on the Forest Hills Drive tour. And I was blown out of the water. So, like, I was like, wow, like, people come to my show expecting all of this. Like, you know, like, I don't know. So I was super nervous. But it's dope.
Yeah, I was wondering how do you actually deal with that expectation? Because it's a lot, it's quite intense. You know, like, people have their own perception what they want you to be like.
Yeah. Well, it can only be me, you know. Like, I will be better. You know what I mean? Like, I might not be the best performer now, but... And I wasn't the best recording artist at one point in time either. I could play you a song that you would laugh. Like you said, you listen to Killer Instinct. Like before that though, I was terrible. I was completely terrible.
There was some good, like I like the trust issues on Killer Instinct. I like that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I make progress and I grow. You know what I mean? So one of these days, 2 years from now, I'm going to be a 10 times better performer than I was doing Trap Soul.
What's the adjustment like for you now? Because it's been a whirlwind 18 months. What's the first thing that you notice to change as you start to get bigger as an artist?
The first thing people recognize me everywhere I go. Most of the places I go, anyway.
Does that get a bit like intrusive, like you just want to still low key?
It does when I'm out like with my daughter and stuff. It gets kind of annoying because it's just like it's cool when people come up and be like, "Hey, I like your music," blah blah blah. You know, I love that, you know what I mean? But whenever they're just like, hey, can we take a picture? And I'm with my daughter, it's just like, like chill, you know.
When you go through this type of transition, who do you keep around you to balance it all out? You know, if there are any mentors in the industry who give you advice?
I have no mentors in the industry, unfortunately. I always looked up to have one, but I don't have any.
So you just learning as you
I just learn as I go.
So what kind of things have you learned then?
That I would share. Man, you got to keep your you just got to keep your team is the most important thing. You know what I mean? I realize that. Like I feel like kind of coming up, I had a team that and things was kind of shaky. You know what I mean? I didn't know what this person was doing, that person was doing, and like you kind of got to trust and like everybody on your team. Like not kind of, you all the way. So everybody that I'm with now, I love them all like my brothers. So.
What was life actually like? You're from Kentucky, right?
Yep.
I've never been there. I haven't even been to the States yet. But what was life like growing up in Kentucky?
I grew up with my little brother. My mom died when I was like 4 years old. So my grandma, I have 4 brothers. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. But my mother had 4 brothers. 4 kids, and they were all my brothers. Anyway. So anyways, when she died, we all got split up, and me and my youngest brother, we got to stay with my grandmother, and my 2 other brothers went with their dads. So I don't know, it was cool. Like me and my little brother, we just played video games most of the time, just chill. Like he was really the one that was out. He was an outsider. Like he liked to go play sports and stuff. I was the one that was inside playing the games all day. It wasn't up until like, I don't know, 15 years old to when I wanted to start recording music and stuff.
Because you incorporate the video games in your music as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I try to, but not to where it sounds forced, you know.
How do you see things progressing for yourself as an artist?
Arena shows one day. I want to go. There's a place called the Yum Center in Kentucky. I want to sell that out one day. Yeah, that'd be crazy. I don't know what like everything. I didn't expect for any of this to happen, so I don't know what to expect. So I'm not even gonna say no or yes.
Seems like there's a lot of pieces,
right?
You know, a lot of emotions. And I was thinking, is one situation, or you taking parts from maybe situations your friends had. It seems like to be a core of like the whole dichotomy of love, breakout, emotions, the ups and downs. I was just wondering how you were able to create that over a whole body of work.
Multiple situations, like you said, there's definitely multiple situations, and I don't know. It's just like we go through things. Everybody as humans, we go through things all year. You know what I mean? So I had a whole year to make this project or whatever it was. And every time I went through something, I just had a dope beat. And I just had a dope beat, and I just went to the studio and I just made the song off of that. So
when you make that song, do like the people who made reference to, do they hit you up like?
Nah.
They don't know.
I mean, they don't never. It's just like I feel like they know. Those people who know. You know what I mean?
And how difficult is it actually like maintaining any like forms of just like keeping in touch with your friends or even like personal relationships when you're now going to be on the road a lot more? Like I looked at your US tour dates.
Mm-hmm.
It seems pretty intense.
Yes, man.
I would have like back to back.
Scary. I only have one friend for real, and he's with me right now on the road. So that solves that problem.
Are you? I mean, because we're in London now, and your music's taking you this far. When do you reckon it would actually hit you that you actually are like people are really putting you as the next coming in terms of R&B or music?
I don't know. It's a good question. I think there was a lot of points in 2015 where I felt like it felt like that I was going to the next level. You know what I mean? I was always progressing and just like, all right, cool, I'm here now. And then, you know, I thought that I'd be there for a long time. The next thing you know, 2 weeks later, I'm here. So it's just crazy.
Really, like, to be stable and to try and keep balance always seems to be like the hardest thing, to have that balance and to try and adjust to it. But I think with the project you've made, it does feel like it's a classic to the audience. You know, all of 2015, it feels like everyone gave your name organically.
Mm-hmm.
Do you almost still keep on recording like new material?
I try to. It's hard, like with like all these tours going on. It's kind of hard, but I try to. I just started on new material actually, and as soon as I get back to LA in a few days, I'm gonna continue working on some new music after I get over the jet lag. Like maybe this platform that I have now, once it's over, if it ever ends, which everything has to come to an end one day, but maybe I could use that to use my relationships to get me a job and, you know, to be a video game designer. That would be a dream come true.
Do you feel that you'll be able to like sync some of your music though?
I don't want to do that. That's corny. I want to make an actual video game. Yeah, like I want to do something like whenever you I feel like those 3 go-to games are NBA 2K. Sorry about that. NBA 2K, Call of Duty, and GTA. Like I want to make that number 4. You know what I mean? Yeah, I needed something that's addictive, just like that. What's the deepest song?
Yeah, the one that means the most to you.
The one that means the most to me, probably Exchange. No, actually, you know, I'm gonna have to say Don't. Not because that's the biggest song, but just because that's the one that got me here. That's the one that I doubted multiple times. You know what I mean? That I deleted from SoundCloud once, and only for my friends to convince me to put it back up. So
What was the doubt about?
I don't know. I just every time I listen to it, just something about it. I was just like, I don't know. I don't know if people like it. And now a lot of people like it, so it's crazy. I would still be working a job if I never put that song online.
When did you know? Because with that song, when did you know actually it was? Because SoundCloud is kind of insular. Like things will be put in the SoundCloud, you don't really see the reaction unless it goes onto like maybe Twitter. So when did you know that it was popping? Really, the track though.
I saw 10,000 when I first got 10,000 plays in the first week. I thought that was crazy. I was like, what? 10,000? Like my songs only had like 800 plays, like most of my other songs, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. So I don't know. I just kept with that. I was just like, all right, cool. 20,000 the next week, and then 100,000 the first month, and I was like, all right, this is really popping off. And I seen a bunch of Vine kids like making like vines to my songs, like Vine famous people. I just thought it was dope.
Are you able now to like keep up with the whole social media aspect? With the amount of followers you have on Instagram, on Twitter, you know, people must be hitting you up all the time and wanting to get a response. I mean,
Yeah.
you have to like turn off notifications from your phone or.
Yeah, I always have my notifications turned off though because of like data reasons. But I didn't want to use up all my data. But I don't really read my DMs or anything like that no more. I try to keep up with my fans, like some of my fans that like post a lot of stuff, and they'll like post some stuff that I never saw. So they're the ones that bring stuff to my attention that they feel like I might need to see.
One thing, I'm just looking at your Instagram. I like the way that the images are shot. It's very creative. Is that obviously must be conscious the way that you actually are positioning yourself on stuff like Instagram?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I love photography. Photography is like my second love. I don't have a real camera yet, but whenever I get time, I want to buy a camera and I'm gonna start shooting. But I don't know. It's just like something I like doing. I like editing pictures.
And do you see your music as therapeutic? Because I won't say it feels somewhat poetic when I listen to it.
Thank you.
Is that how
Yeah.
you use it?
Yeah, definitely therapeutic. I always tell people that I have a hard time expressing myself in just day to day, whatever. So when it comes to the music, I'll just let it all out there, you know.
Yeah, maybe that's the easiest form that you can actually convey your message.
Right. I feel like I gotta put all that stuff in there. Even there was some songs on it that didn't have to do with like relationships or in love and stuff, like 10-9-14, where I was just talking about how I got kicked out of the crib and how I was sleeping in my car and stuff. And I feel like all that stuff is important for people to hear. Like I gotta tell my story because I know there's somebody out there going through the same thing, and like that's the person that I want to reach.
In that time, what kept you like focused when you're going through such hard times?
The fact, you know, I knew that my daughter still needed diapers. You know, like me getting kicked out wasn't gonna. I had to go harder. You know what I mean? Like I've been like kind of kicked out before. I ran away from home the first time, and then one time my grandma told me to get out, and I was just like, oh man. Then I came back, and then I ran away again. I never came back. And then so, you know what I mean, I was just thinking like, dang, once I got kicked out, I've been working so hard. I was just like, yo, I can't put that power in anybody else's hands no more. Like I need to get my own shit. So that's when I just started working hard.
To run away from home has to be almost like still a brave decision.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely.
So I was thinking, like, just hearing you say that, I think.
Yeah, man, it was, especially the last time. I don't know. I just guess I got kind of stubborn with certain stuff. Like I'd be like, hey, I want to go to the mall for a second. She'd be like, nah. I'm like, what? I'm going to the mall. I just went to the mall and I never came back.
You feel like, because grandparents, they're old school.
Yeah.
Mr. Generation, they don't.
Yeah.
You can't even anything you say back to them. You can't.
Yeah, I know, man. Yes, ma'am. If I said yes, she don't like yes. I gotta say yes, ma'am. You know what I'm saying? She hates what? Bryson? What? If I say yeah, I'm in trouble.
I guess she must be completely proud of what you're doing now and the way that you've turned your situation around.
Yeah, she is, man. We went out to dinner a few times. Every time I'm back home, she just gives me I think she gives me like some of the most support for real. I love my grandma.
So, any kind of final words that you want to share with the people about, you know, maybe some of the things they may not understand about yourself as a person?
Man, I really am like that. You know, that I'm humble. Like I'm really humble. Like it's not like a gimmick or anything to make people believe that he's humble, that's why I like him. Like no, like it's a real thing. You know what I mean? Like I always tried to like. I'm trying to figure out how to put this into words. I guess I just want to let them know that I love them. That's it. My fans. Because, like, I wouldn't even be talking to you right now. I wouldn't be in London right now doing this interview in the Sony building doing an interview if it wasn't for them listening to my music. So I just appreciate them.